if you're renting out a property, it's important for you to invest in other properties. Why am I saying this?
So I secured my job, I'm not far away from home. Now I'm trapped in terms of, do I invest first or do I move out?
Yeah.
So
Hello, everybody.
we are live. I'm sure you guys were not expecting us. So we're in our office right now. And what happened is that we were about to be busy to call a couple of agents. And then this Thinya location came up. So we were like, let's include you guys in our findings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're always saying, or we're always getting the question from you guys that how do I purchase the right property, or where do I get the right property, or it's just a whole lot of questions that people are actually giving us, and we're like, you know what, let's welcome everybody because we are a family. We are one big family. Let's welcome everybody and let's see how do we actually look at property deals, right?
Yeah.
So I have my book, I have my pen, we'll be taking down notes, and yeah, let's see where this goes.
Before we even get to it, right? Especially as a beginner, we all know about location. Let me see. My light is on. We all know as a beginner, there's emphasis on location. And we've received so many emails and so many inquiries in terms of, gents, where should I be putting my money when it comes to investing in a property? Like which direction should I be looking at? It's a bit difficult to pinpoint a specific location and say, guys, all of us right now, let's all go invest in that place. Reason being, pricing, number one, is not the same. Number two, rental is not the same. So in a same location, you could be having 2 bedrooms renting out for 11.5, 1 bedroom renting out for, let's say, 8.5. And only to find out that after all expenses, the guys from the 1 bedrooms, they are winning way more than the guys from the 2 bedrooms. Or you could find out that even in the same location, the prices when it comes to increase, whereby let's say we were looking at a townhouse and we're looking at a duplex. Now you could find out that the duplex, when it came to increase in price, the duplexes increased faster than the townhouses. So there is no specific formula. If we are to say that, guys, if we all right now want to invest, let's go to this specific location and we will make money. It doesn't work that way.
Now there were stats that I was reading, right? I forgot to send it to Nell. There were stats that I was reading.
No, that's how you operate.
From
That's
the
how you operate.
TPN. Ah, man, don't make like you don't also operate like that. The stats that I was reading from TPN, right? So TPN is something whereby all property investors are using when they are renting out properties, right?
Yeah.
So now these stats were saying that rental apartments or the rental space in South Africa is actually becoming something bad to go into, right? Now they were saying Eastern Cape, right? Eastern Cape, the vacant properties have actually increased to 15%.
Okay.
So in Eastern Cape, vacancies have actually increased to 15%. Now when you're looking at Johannesburg, it was sitting at 10%. Now here's the crazy part. They were saying that rental in Cape Town is sitting at 3% vacancy.
Yeah.
So this means that from all properties, right, considering the ones that are only on TPN,
Okay.
only 3% are vacant. So this is saying, or this is telling us that vacancy in Cape Town is actually at a low amount. Now, let's understand why is vacancy rates lower in Cape Town than what it is in Johannesburg, right? Or Gauteng or Eastern Cape. The thing that makes rentals to be low in terms of their vacancies are property prices. When you go to Cape Town, yes, the property prices there are crazy. Can you just search, right, when you do have time, search for apartments for sale in Cape Town. You'll see how crazy those amounts are. Okay. Now, the question is that if, say, for instance, right now, your bond that you were supposed to pay, say, for instance, you got a job right now in Cape Town, the bond that you're supposed to pay is around 50,000, right? Now, they do get to 50,000, or let's make it more realistic for most of us, right? Now, let's say the bond around Cape Town, realistic over there, is around 20,000. Now, if you're looking at a bond of 20,000, and then someone is saying that you can rent out the same place for around 15 to 14,000, this makes it more lucrative for people to actually rent in this market than buying properties. Now, what we're saying is that In Johannesburg, it's more of depending on which area you're buying, right? If you're getting a property for 800,000, property prices around there in terms of rental are around 7,000 or 7,500 if the property is 800,000. Now, the jump, if we can look at it, it's closer to the 1%. Now, if you look at it from Cape Town perspective, if it's 20,000 and then this is 15,000, for most people, it's more like, let me just rent out a place than actually buy the place.
So, man, that's really quite interesting, because I'm also looking at it from the pricing point, right? I mean, if you've got more houses and more apartments that are really steep when we're looking at the price, and then now it kind of pushes people to that rental market, because I've seen a lot of videos, and I tried to really understand that why in some areas, especially in America, whereby they'll be putting out content whereby it's easier to rent than to buy. A lot of people here, of course, you won't necessarily understand it until you go into these stats, because now once you start looking at the stats in terms of if I should be renting out for 20,000, if I should be buying a property for paying it for 20,000, whereas I could be renting for 15 or even cheaper, it will rather push the market to people more of renting than owning. And
because also when you look at this 15,000, sometimes it's a 2-bedroom. So what ends up happening is that this 15,000 is then divided into two. So 15,000 divided by 2, you're looking at what? Is it 14?
7.5.
7.5. Now you're looking at 7,000, right? 7,000, that amounts to the 15,000, other than paying the whole 20,000 alone. So those are the things that people are really looking at when they are going to, or when they're looking at renting out properties there in Cape Town. But in Johannesburg, man, guys, come on, we are easy here in Johannesburg. You do get a nice apartment for around 700,000, 800,000. I remember the last time when we hosted in Cape Town, we were like, you can get a nice spot for 800,000, and the guys were like, yeah. 800,000 where?
Yeah, man. And once we're still on this one, right, I also wanted to touch base that, let's just say that, because I also believe that with the viewers that we're having on TikTok and also on YouTube, you find someone who just secured that job. So yes, I secured my job, and now let's just say that it's not even far away from home. So I secured my job, I'm not far away from home. Now I'm trapped in terms of, do I invest first or do I move out?
So can we hear from people, right?
Guys,
can you please just put it on the comment section? Would you rather rent out a property first and then buy your own home first, or would you rather do it vice versa, in terms of you buying your home first, then renting out, then buying a property for investment?
So just to put it in basic terms, right? Let me explain it again so that we can all give one answer. All of us right now, we went back to internship, and now with this internship, we're earning a lot of money. Let's just say that we're earning about 20,000. We're earning 20,000, and then we find out that we can afford a property. So would we rather buy a property first? So just say buy first, and then
just say buy first.
Just say buy first or invest first. It's either buy first or invest first. Which one would you do? So we want to hear from you guys first. What would you do? Would you either buy first or invest first? So, and then we'll hear from Lebo in terms of what would he do if he was put in that situation.
We're getting these social pressures, especially as the youth, that you need to buy your house as soon as possible, because by the time you retire, at least your property would be bought cash. That's the first social pressure that we're getting, right? Now, the question is that if I'm going to be purchasing my house right now, we have a dependency on your job that you have right now. So what am I saying? Right? If I'm saying that you grow a dependency. Say for instance right now, you're in a situation whereby the one that Neo just spoke about right now, that you are getting paid, you're getting paid 20,000 right now at work. Ne? You're getting paid 20,000 at work right now, and then your bond is round about 10,000. Right? Because what happens most of the time is that when they tell someone that, okay, you qualify for 1 million, somebody wants to buy a house for 1 million, right? Now, say for instance, your bond is at 10,000 on a monthly basis. Now you work, yes, it's nice. Now the problem is that once you get retrenched from work, what does this do for you or to you? right, as an individual, if you are getting paid 20,000 and now you are getting paid 10,000, this has somewhat or somehow
Your bond is 10K.
yes, your bond is 10K. Now, this has somehow created a dependency on your job that if you do lose your job, then this lifestyle at 10,000 is going to be cancelled out, right? Now, what are we saying? We are saying that let your investments be the one that will help you live the lifestyle that you have that you want right now, because in that way, if you do get retrenched from your job, yes, it's going to be painful that I don't have that stable income right now. However, if you have a rental property and those rental properties are able to actually sustain the amount that you're getting on a monthly basis, or what you should be paying, the 10,000 on a monthly basis, now that puts some sort of ease, because okay, as much as the salary is not there anymore, the side hustle, or not even side hustle, your property portfolio is able to sustain. Now, if I'm saying that I'm investing first, now the question goes back to, okay, if you're investing first, then where are you going to be living? Now, some people have the leisure, right? Or they have the ability of saying that, I can still stay with my parents. However, sometimes that that's not possible for most people because of the parents that you have. Maybe the parents are saying that you need to stand by yourself.
Yeah, you're
you need
21
to
years now.
Yeah, sometimes even 18 years. You're 18 years now, you just need to go out of the house. Or now you're 21 years, you need to go out of the house. So some people don't have that leisure of saying that, no, I'll live with my parents. So now what am I saying? I would rather rent, because renting out a property, it's easy for you to go out of that deal than having a property. Now here's the thing about renting, right, that I need you to really understand.
So when you're saying you'd rather rent, are you saying you'd rather invest, or you're not? You still haven't answered the question yet.
I haven't answered the question.
Okay.
Rent out where you're living and then buy where you're going to be investing. Now, how does this help you as an individual? It's easier to get out of a contract rental because you just tell them 1 month before. Say, for instance, you lose your job,
So it
you
depends
tell
on
them,
the contract.
depending on the contract. If, say, for instance, you lose your job right now, it's easy to move out of a 1 month contract or 2 month contract, then selling a property of which you don't have any equity on it. Now, if you're going to be selling that property, sometimes it does also still need, because sometimes properties didn't actually appreciate. You've owned the property for 3 years, you haven't really paid down that much in terms of that property, and now you are forced to sell the property. Now, this means that you're going to be having a shortfall on that property. Now, on a property that you are renting out, all you're just going to be getting back is your deposit. It's easy for you to actually downscale on that property. Now, here's where the trick is, because I know someone is saying that, but if you're renting, you're paying off somebody's bond. Yes, you're paying off somebody's bond. However, if you're going to be renting out that property, this is something that I need you to understand. If you're renting out that property, you cannot live the same lifestyle as the person that is paying off the property on bond. If you're renting out the property, it's important for you to invest in other properties. Why am I saying this? If you're investing in other properties, then at least you know that you're gaining some sort of equity with the properties that you own. Now it goes back to that thing that we used to do. Remember, for the 90s kids or 90s before, I don't know if they still do it. When you ask your friend that smokes that, okay, you smoke, right? And they say, yeah, I do smoke. And you say that, okay, how many times do you smoke a day? The last time I checked, it was 2 rand. I don't know how much it is right now. 2 rand. So you say, okay, how many cigarettes do you smoke a day? Smoke 5 cigarettes. So 5 times 2 is equals to what?
5 times 2 is 10.
10. So you're spending 10 rand a day. 10 multiplied by 7, that's 70 rand. 7 multiplied by 4 is how much?
Where's my calculator?
4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So that's 2,800 a month, right? Then after 2,800 a month, we're saying 2,800 multiplied by 12, and then you're getting 33,600. So you're telling that person that you've lost 33,600. Now the question becomes that, do you smoke? No, you don't smoke. Then how much do you have that 33,600? If you don't have it, then you have a problem, right? Now put it back into property context. If you were not buying other properties while you were still renting, then you are in a worse position than the person that has actually been owning that property.
Look, I like how you went about answering it, right? In a sense whereby, especially how you started. And I took note of that in a sense whereby if I can afford, let's also look at it this way. if I can afford, let's say I afford 1 million, my affordability is 1 million. And then now I've got that option whereby, number one, there is that option living at home. And then my question is, what do I do with this 1 million? Can I probably divide it into two? There's a property that we're looking at right now. It's going for how much is it going for? 380. How much is it?
350. The one in
350.
Okay.
It's 350. It's going for 350, and rental. It's got 4 rooms which are approved, but not rooms as per se. It's bachelors. It's bachelors, and then you can get 2,500 for each. So if I'm gonna say 2,500 times 4, that gives you 10,000. Now look at it this way. Let's say all our expenses are amounting to about 6,000 in this case. So basically, what will then happen is my 10,000 of income minus the 6,000, which is my expenses, and then I'm left with 4,000. So what I'm saying is that if I'm able, look at it from the 1 million of affordability now. Affordability at 1 million, please keep that. Let me just write the 4,000.
Okay.
4,000. And then the affordability, 1 million. Yeah, the property that's going for 1 million. How much did we say that property is for again? The one that we're looking at, 350. How many 350s can I get here? 1 million divided by 350. That's 2.8. So man, if I can squeeze the bank a little bit,
Yeah.
I can try to get 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Or if you can squeeze the person that's selling the property.
Either way, somebody will be squeezed.
Yeah.
So basically what we're saying is the 4,000 multiplied by 3. 4, 8, 12. 12K. 12K? Man, those are stats, guys.